Now at 6, workers at the Tyson plant in Newell, Missouri look to the future with just a few days of employment remaining. Plus, the mayor of Pittsburgh weighs in on the state of the city. And the Joplin Humane Society needs the public's help helping man's best friend during Adopt a Dog Month.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
When the Tyson plant in Newell, Missouri closes on Friday, 1,500 jobs in that area will be gone. This is KOAM News at 6. I'm Dow Quick. The company is offering $1,000 for those who work until the very last day, according to employees, not taking into consideration how long these people worked at the company. The employees who chose to stay to receive the compensation are now dealing with uncertainty about their futures. KOAM's Fernandez Silva spoke to one of them to hear her story.
On October 13th, Yanet Gonzalez will be saying goodbye to the company she worked for the last 5 years. With limited English and a young daughter to take care of, Gonzalez is struggling to find a job that fit her needs. I'll have to take an employment, and we're very worried because I have diabetes. I need medication. It is very tough. It's horrible. While she's concerned about her challenges, her heart is also broken for her co-workers, who she often sees crying. They don't have anywhere to work because they left their lives there, bought their houses, have their cars, and many dreams they had. And now, with this that has happened to them, it's been really difficult for me to see them cry. According to her, the impact employees are feeling is also emotional and even physical. I had to witness one whose half of the face went numb because she's a single mother. Gonzalez says the situation is especially challenging for those who, unlike her, don't speak any English. Many don't speak anything, nothing. Most of the companies that have come ask if you finished high school here, if you speak English. In my experience, even speaking a little, I don't dare to go because I don't know English well. No sé bien el inglés. President of the McDonough County Chamber of Commerce believes Hispanics will have a better chance to find jobs than some other immigrant groups.
Those will be tougher jobs, or tougher jobs for them to fill. If they don't speak English, or usually Hispanic is okay because a lot of employers already handle. So if you can't speak English but you speak Hispanic, you're probably fine. But if you're from Somalia or Burmese, those are not common languages. Islanders, it's a little more difficult to find those jobs with communication.
We also reached out to Tyson to understand how the company is supporting its employees. Tyson says that they are offering a $5,000 transfer bonus and up to $5,000 assistance for moving expenses for team members who physically move to another Tyson Foods facility. Tyson's spokesperson says that about 16% of the Newell plant workforce plans to remain employed by the company. Even with the support the company says that they are offering for Gonzalez, the closure will put her biggest dream on hold. It was my dream to get my house. I was already making plans to buy my house, and it turns out, boom, it is over. In Neosho, Fernandez Silva, KOAM News.
Now, according to Tyson, they've coordinated with outside employers and the Missouri Department of Higher Education and Workforce Development, who shared employment opportunities, unemployment assistance, and other support to employees. You can go to our website at KOAMnewsnow.com to watch and read the first part of this story. You can also find the questions we sent to Tyson Foods and the company's answers. Big shakeup is coming for one local sports program. KOAM Sports Director John Dales joins us now with more.
Yeah, thanks, Dow. Carl Junction High School announces today it will leave the Central Ozark Conference effective at the beginning of next school year. Now, CJ is a founding member of the Ozark Mountain Conference, along with Branson, Bolivar, Logan Rogersville, Marshfield, and West Plains. And I got a lot more on this coming up in sports.
All right, we'll see you soon. Beautiful day out there. Let's check in with meteorologist Sam Lane.
You're right, Dow. It's been a beautiful day. A little bit on the breezy side, but that's because we have a storm system that's going to be moving out into the plains tomorrow. In fact, just showing you how powerful the storm is, severe thunderstorm warnings for southeastern Wyoming. So this is definitely a storm to contend with. The good news is the severe weather is primarily going to stay to our north. Tonight we're going to see lows dropping down into the 60s to about 61 by tomorrow morning. Right now, we're looking at pretty strong winds, generally around 20 to 25 miles per hour. And as we go through the overnight hours, we're going to see those winds increasing to about 40 miles per hour late tomorrow afternoon ahead of that storm system. And looking down the lane, we're going to have a windy night tonight, thunderstorms tomorrow evening, a much cooler Friday, and a chilly weekend, believe that or not. I'll have the details on that coming up in just a bit.
All right, catch you in a few. Pittsburgh's mayor today delivered the 2023 State of the City address. That event brought out the community for a morning of networking, breakfast, and a short program. The mayor shared Pittsburgh's accomplishments in 2023 as well as a look ahead. He says the event served as a way to connect with the community.
Everybody should interact with their community in some form or other. Don't ask me why I'm doing this at my age and after 2 careers. It's because I want to do something. I've got it. I love people. I love to be around people. I like to solve problems.
That event was at the Memorial Auditorium. The Joplin Humane Society is offering $25 adoption fees for Adopted Dog Month through October 15th, lower than usual fees by a lot. This special is also a way to help lower their critically high number of animals. The Humane Society is encouraging anyone who can't take pets into their home to consider other ways to help.
They can definitely come out and help us socialize the animals here. We're always in need of supplies, so everything that you might use at home for your pets, we can use it here.
Supplies that they regularly need are dry and wet pet food, bowls, collars, and leashes. You can visit the Joplin Humane Society Facebook page for updated information on their needs and how you can help. The softball postseason is about to begin. John's going to have a preview of some of the highest ranked teams coming up a little bit later in sports. But first, a Baxter Springs man receives a higher than average water bill, which sparks a whole new conflict. Baxter Springs man is stuck for a bill for damage he says he did not cause. KOAM's Amber Jenkins has more.
After receiving a water bill higher than usual from the city, William Mortel was notified that his water meter was damaged. Then he started connecting the dots.
My neighbor and I were recollecting of when the tree service was back here, and they had to get in through the alley to get to where they were because they came in to the yard up to this tree. Like, there's literally no way you could avoid that meter.
Mortel was billed $200 to repair the meter, but he thought Right Tree Service would take accountability since the meter was working before they worked on the property. Mortel says the company was contracted by Liberty to cut branches around the power lines.
I came home from work one day and I saw the tree service was back here examining it. So I came back here to talk to them, and they're like, yeah, that's not from our trucks. If we ran that over, we would have crushed it. I'm like, well, it's crushed. So
you're already dealing with increased rates, and now you have a $200 bill for something you didn't do. It's frustrating, to say the least.
Pretty much just pass me off and say, that's not our responsibility, it's the tree people. I called the tree people. They said, that's not our responsibility, we didn't do it. So, like, I'm just stuck with the invoice, and that's not fair. Like, if I ran over their meter, I would be expected to pay for it.
Mortel says he's understanding, but believes someone else's mistake shouldn't be on his dime. Reporting in Baxter Springs, Amber Jenkins, KOAM News.
Now, KOAM did reach out to Liberty Utilities and Right Tree Service for a statement, but we have not received a response. A little bit later, the Parsons Historical Museum foresees a successful night at the museum fundraiser, a psychic medium that they predict will have people talking.
And I'm predicting a chilly weekend in store for us. I'll have all the details on that coming up. Well, it was another warm day across the 4 states with lots of sunshine and breezy conditions, and we're going to have one more day before fall comes back. Let's take a look at this morning in Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. As we put that in motion, you can see we started off with mostly fair skies with a few cirrus clouds. Then midday some cumulus and stratocumulus came in, and now we're left with just a few clouds out there as the sun sets. And the clouds are going to be increasing as we go through the day tomorrow, especially tomorrow night with the storms rolling in. We started out at 63 this morning, which was above the normal of 50. The high so far has been 80, which is above the normal of 73. And the record was 3 years ago, 91 degrees on this day. Radar is clear right now. That's going to be changing as we go through the next couple of days, but right now we're enjoying some nice temperatures, generally in the mid-70s right now. A little bit warmer out to the west in Sedan and Independence, as well as Neodesha with 78 degrees. A little bit cooler off to the east where it's 71. You saw the update there. Pick out your hometown. 71 also in Cassville. Dew points are going to be increasing as we go through the evening hours as south winds are going to bring up some Gulf moisture. But then the dry line will start to sail through, and when it does, the dry air will take back over with dew points in the 40s, even approaching the 20s and 30s out towards the west. Rain chances are going to be low for the next 24 hours, but then as we go into tomorrow night and Friday morning, that's when the rain chances start to increase just a little bit. Tonight, we're going to see mostly fair skies with south winds continuing with lows generally around 60 degrees. Then tomorrow, we're going to see partly cloudy skies with highs in the mid to upper 70s. And then notice we have storms developing along the dry line as it continues to roll to the south and east. And by about midnight, that's when we could see some scattered showers and storms in our area. That will sail through. Then the cold front will arrive as we go into Friday morning with lows in the 50s and 60s. And then during the day, the clouds are going to increase on Friday afternoon with temperatures remaining in the mid-60s. And then as we head into Saturday morning, we're going to see lows dropping down into the upper 40s to around 50 degrees and not recover all that much on Saturday afternoon. Here's the big storm system right now. It's going to be pulling out into the plains, and by tomorrow you can see the cold front stretching from the low in northeastern Colorado right through Oklahoma and Texas. A little bit closer view shows that front sailing through our area Friday morning. Then once that moves out of the way, that allows the chilly air from the north to drain right down into our area on the weekend. Severe storm chances are going to be greatest up towards the north. Can't rule it out here in our area, but the odds are better up towards the north. Rainfall amounts are not going to be all that impressive with this system. It's going to be very light across the area. Even the European model has most of the heavier precipitation in very few spots. Over the next 7 days, here's the forecast. Tomorrow, windy and 80. Then on Friday, 70 and cooler still for Saturday with lows in the 40s and highs only, Dow, in the 50s. That's like November weather there. And then as we head towards next week, we'll still be below normal, but highs will be in the 60s and lows in the 40s.
Yeah, people haven't dug out those sweaters and sweatshirts yet. They need to by the weekend for sure.
Definitely so.
Thanks, Sam. The Parsons Historical Museum will host its second annual Night at the Museum event this Saturday, when psychic medium Julie Kellogg announced she's returning as the featured entertainment. Well, those tickets, they sold out fast. KOAM's Tanya Bach met up with Kellogg at the museum to see if anything caught her attention.
Are you noticing any spirits as we move through the museum?
Actually, I just heard I don't know if you noticed, I paused for a moment. When we were talking, I heard a lady say, "My baby's things are here."
Whoa, Tanya continues her museum tour with psychic medium Julie Kellogg tonight at 10. Still ahead, Carl Junction's athletic director speaks on the decision to leave the Central Ozark Conference, and several local softball teams prepare for district playoffs. John Dales has those stories and a lot more. That's coming up next. Here's a look at what's coming up on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. We're going to have more on the Joplin Humane Society's lowered adoption fees during Adopted Dog Month. Plus, we're going to take a tour through the Parsons Historical Museum with that psychic medium and what NASA found inside a tightly sealed canister that was returned to Earth last month after being on an asteroid. Yeah, those stories, a lot more. It's coming up tonight. KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. Hey, with severe weather strikes, you're going to want to be informed, and you can do that by scanning this QR code. You can do it right now. We're going to give you a moment. Do it with that phone you have in your hand anyway. It'll take you to the KOAM News Now YouTube page, where our weather team will live stream during severe weather events to give you updated information. And while you're there, be sure to subscribe and ring the bell for notifications.
And we might be streaming a little bit on Thursday night into Friday morning with some strong storms, but we'll have to wait and see on that. Main thing is going to be turning colder for the weekend with a high of only 59 on Saturday. That's the eclipse day, by the way. And then another chance of showers the middle to latter part of next week. And speaking of that eclipse, we're looking at a temperature of about 56 degrees with partly cloudy skies at around maximum eclipse time at 11:51, but then as it goes through the afternoon, the clouds are going to be rolling back in. So the best opportunity to see that is if you head south and west into northeast Oklahoma.
And even if the weather clear, then during an eclipse, technically it's only partly sunny.
That's correct.
Final sports note.
Yeah, we're going to have a lot more on the Carl Junction move to the Ozark Mountain Conference tonight at 9 and 10. We invite everybody to tune in for that.
Very good. Thanks for joining us. We're going to invite you to send us photos and locations of homes with fun Halloween decorations on our Facebook page. We're going to leave you with a look at a home on West 12th Street in Webb City. See you at 10. Let's make it a great evening.